cross-campus team, and they brought together something that's kind of fun and exciting. And so now I'm going to be quiet and let them talk and share what great work they've done, and so you can see why they are so exemplary. Thank you so much today.
Hi everyone, so my name is Heather Meyer. I'm just going to talk real quick about the idea behind this project. So when I created the concept of speed dating with databases, my focus was to find a creative way to promote the use of our library resources, including our databases, and also our library instructions, which I wanted to make engaging and relatable for our students. And to do that, I knew that I needed to incorporate humor into the resources to help students overcome the stigma that the library or the databases are boring or difficult. And it just so happens that at that time I had begun dating, and I won't go into much detail, but it is definitely what inspired the humorous experience behind the speed dating project. And so once I had that idea, I worked with my team that has joined me today to figure out how it would be best developed at St. Petersburg College. And there were a lot of ideas that were generated, but unfortunately our sweet dance skills did not make the cut. I'm going to let Kassie talk a little bit about how we did develop the project though.
Hi everyone, I'm Kassie Sherman. So we decided when we were working on this project to make all the instructional materials emulate the experience of participating in a speed dating event. But instead of meeting potential dates, students and faculty will be meeting potential databases for whatever meets their research needs. So that's kind of how we approached it, and we thought that was a fun, different take on it.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Paula. So I'm going to talk about the different types of workshops and online instructions, and then the YouTube webisodes that we did. So we originally started this as a workshop, and at the Tarpon campus, we used our library computer lab, and we broke it up by rows. So each row would have, I'm going to say 6 computers. Obviously, this is pre-COVID, so we would have everybody inside of a room all together, and they would have 5 minutes to spend in each row to look at the different databases. So we would go ahead and already sign in the database on the computers, and I know it's kind of hard to see because I'm probably like minimized over here, but first we would have these little "Hello, my name is" stickers on each computer with the name of the database, and we gave them, you know, fun little names. Then we would also have these kind of infographics that would go along with it. So when a student sat down at the computer, it would kind of give them a little bit of information about that specific database. Like this one we called Fergie, and it's Ferguson's Career Center. So it'll say things like the story, "Are you looking to get fresh and profesh? Look no further. I am here to help you up your job game. Likes are interview prep, exploring careers, and cover letter and resume writing, and it's seeking job seekers and students exploring career choices." So it just kind of gives the students a little bit of an idea of what type of information is going to be in that database. So the librarian would stand at the center and kind of just go over what was going to happen. So each student would have 5 minutes, and then you're going to rotate to the next row and try a different database. And it was pretty much just letting them explore on their own, which is something, you know, we never really did before. It's usually we're in there talking 30, 35 minutes about databases. Sometimes it's a little interactive where they do their own searching, but this was more completely interactive. Students can just start using the database, and then the librarians walk around the room and answer any questions. Personally, what I would do is I would walk around, and if someone, you know, just seemed to be clicking around and didn't really know what they were looking for, I'd give them pointers like, "Oh, hey, did you know that you can find interview prep on here where you can actually have a mock interview?" And they're like, "Wow, that's amazing." So just little stuff like that. And then what we would do is we would have, see if I can zoom this, a feedback form And at the end, they could fill this out, and then it was kind of like a takeaway so that they would remember, oh yeah, I learned all about this with this database. So the questions are, what did you like the most about me? What did you like the least about me? What topics did we discuss? List a memorable moment or a favorite section. And then at the end, want to meet again, and it has a link to our LibGuide, which we're going to be showing a little bit later. So that's kind of how the face-to-face workshops started. But then I was getting faculty reaching out and saying, would you mind doing this during my class instead of the traditional library instruction? So it was like, oh, sure, this is great. So we would kind of incorporate the speed dating and then also a little bit more of the traditional instruction at the end. So we also switched to online workshops. Of course, with COVID, we can't be bringing people all into a computer lab. So we were actually holding these on Zoom. Of course, it's going to work a little bit different, but the concept was still similar. We explained the database just real quick, you know, a minute or two, and then send links in the chat box for students to click on and explore the database on their own for 5 minutes. And then we're there on Zoom to kind of ask how things are going. Is anything confusing? What did you find? Did you enjoy it? And things like that. And then our research guide, which we're going to be showing as well. And then also the YouTube webisodes. That's kind of our take on like a podcast of sorts. And we're going to demonstrate one a little bit later. So what we would do with those is for our online students, which is a huge portion of our students at St. Petersburg College, we wanted to make sure we were reaching them. So we would just do these fun little webisodes, really short, 5 to 7 minutes, just showing them the types of information they can find in the database. Okay, so next I'm going to turn it over to Kaitlin.
Hey everyone. All right. So in order to market this project, we relied on our partnerships and created collaborations like Paula mentioned with faculty as well as different departments on our different campuses. So one of the things we did was we partnered with online services, the people who oversee our learning management system, and we put banners in our courses so that students could see the events that we had going on when they logged into their classes. We also worked with our marketing and strategic communications team to put events in the campus newsletter and also provide website updates for our speed dating with databases workshops. And like Paula mentioned, we worked with our faculty. They're, you know, our important partnership that we have to really draw them in, let us come into their classrooms and offer some of these workshops, as well as finding ways to bring them into us. And so one of the ways we did that was using food. Of course, is always a way to get, you know, hungry college students to attend workshops. So we offered some donuts and databases workshops where students could enjoy coffee and donuts, and then also speed date with some of the databases. And those were sponsored by our Student Life and Leadership organization on campus. And then lastly, we created a survey for our students so that they could provide us with some feedback. And so we'll be sharing some of those results with you in just a little bit. And I'll pass it back to Paula now.
I'm going to jump in here real quick, and I just also want to share that after we created and shared some of these resources with our faculty, we even had some approach us who made some assignments for their own class that incorporated this project, and they shared it with us. And so we've added that to our LibGuide as well. So we've taken those faculty created assignments and added them for other faculty to use, and we'll show you that as well when we get to the LibGuide.
Okay, so we were very honored to win both this award, but also the RUSA Award for Excellence last year. So we were selected as the 2019 winner for the Award for Excellence in Reference in Adult Library Services, sponsored by Reference USA. So we received both a citation and a $1,500 monetary award. What we've been doing with that money is we were able to purchase some prizes that we gave away for various things related to speed dating with databases. And then, you know, other things that we might need, like these, just gonna show it again, these little hello, my name is stickers. So things like that. And then you'll see on the slide the monetary reward being used to purchase additional materials to support the project.
We've also received some really great feedback from our faculty and students that we wanted to share with you. Here's a comment that we had off of the surveys. And the surveys, again, we give those to everybody that participates in our workshop, and we make it available through the LibGuide so that everyone has access to it. And this one was from Karen Walker, one of our humanities instructors, says, "Oh my goodness, I love the speed dating with databases project you created. Its comprehensive, multifaceted approach will give students an enriching experience, and because it's so cute, they'll want to engage with it."
So I'm going to read the next comment that we received. This is from Heather Carpenter, one of our students. "As an older student, this makes research less intimidating," and we love hearing that.
So Alexandra Paul, one of our health sciences majors, said, "I really like the design of this guide. It's whimsical and fun and allows students to find databases they need to complete assignments without being overwhelmed or dry or boring. I love the bringing back the 90s theme and the framing of searching for databases as searching for the right date. I appreciate the effort put into making things as simple for us as possible to help us succeed."
Okay, and this came from Taylor Fee, who's another student. "I'm happy to be part of a school that wants their students to succeed not only in class, but also in life."
Okay, so now what we'd like to do is share the LibGuide with you. So here it is, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this link into the chat box for you. There you go. So on our homepage here, we have a little introduction about the speed dating project. And we describe it as a place where we dish the deets on the hottest databases available and help you find the right research match for your needs. Watch the video to learn about speed dating, browse the profiles to find a compatible database, connect with our matchmakers for individual support, and share your most citable moments with us. Oh, and we're bringing the 90s back. Enjoy. So we decided on the 90s theme just to add kind of a fun spin to it. And we also developed this little welcome video to go along with the introduction, which we're going to play for you now. Let me just change the audio settings real quick.
And just a fun fact, I am actually wearing a vintage Contempo Casuals dress from 1993, which I'm shocked, A, I still have, and B, I can still fit in.
Did you buy that at Wet Seal?
No, it was Contempo Casuals, which was the
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the competitor to Wet Seal. But good call. Like, it's awesome you know about Wet Seal.
Okay, I might have to try to replay that again. There we go.
Are you tired of serial databasing? Are you ready to stop playing games and get serious about your information needs?
Ready to commit to finding your citable soulmate?
Our speed dating guide will help you get your research life back on the right track.
Explore each of the tabs to learn how you can get connected with the right information. When you're ready to meet potential database, click on Meet Eligible Databases.
If you'd like to learn more about databasing, click on Meet Your Matchmakers.
Now it's time to get out there and meet your research match.
Happy databasing!
Okay, let me just change the audio settings again there.
Tired of serial databasing? Are you ready to stop playing games and get serious about your information needs?
Ready to commit to finding your citable soulmate?
There we go. I'll get back there eventually. All right, so that was the video that we have on our homepage just to introduce everybody to the LibGuide. We also made a similar video that we play at the beginning of each workshop that has the same kind of feel to it and just introduces students to what will happen during the speed dating workshop. So we have these tabs over here where students can meet our eligible databases. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We also have a section to meet your matchmakers and get our contact information. We have a section for how to prepare for your database and what to do if you find a database that you like and how to save that information. We also promote our workshops on here, and we have a section where students can share their experiences. So we're going to go through each of these tabs. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kassie to talk about the Meet Eligible Databases tab.
Okay. So this was actually one of the things that we had the most fun with when we were developing this project. We thought it would be exciting to create little profiles for each of the databases as if they were a potential suitor. And Paula talked about this a little bit, but this just gives you a better view of what we're talking about. We gave them little nicknames like Global Road Warrior is Geo. We gave them a little backstory. Geo's is, I can take you where you want to go. I have traveled to 175 countries, speak multiple languages, and dress to impress. And those are kind of references to some of the different information that you can access while you're on this database. We also talked about things that would interest this database, if you will. And then this was kind of a fun thing in the seeking section. We talked about the different types of students that might be interested in using this database. So we said business, social science, communications, obviously because it's a cultural database. And we also had a little fun with this and made video podcasts, just talking about the databases. And I think Heather's gonna share that with us now.
Yes, let me go ahead and do that.
Thanks. This is also Paula's favorite, so.
Yeah, so as Heather's preparing that, this is one of our webisodes, and it's 7 minutes. And you'll see that it's not like a traditional formal video. We're very unstructured, and we just wanted to make it like fun, like you would just be listening to a podcast. So that was kind of the intention behind it. And Kassie and I do get in a fight over maple syrup.
It's an important issue that we should all discuss.
I think that's an opposing viewpoint.
Of serial databasing? Are you ready to stop playing games and get serious about your information needs?
Ready to commit to finding your citable soulmate?
Over the next 5 minutes, we'll introduce you to today's most eligible databases.
Oh, research is calling. Gotta take this.
Hi, welcome to Speed Dating with Databases. I'm Kassie and I'm here with Paula.
Hi, we are 2 database relationship coaches, otherwise known as librarians.
That's right. We're here to help you choose the right database for your research needs.
Cass, who are we meeting today?
Today we're meeting Global Road Warrior, or Geo. Now, I know you have a special affinity for Geo, right?
Yeah, actually, Geo is my favorite database.
Aw.
Out of all of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. So why do you love Geo so much?
Well, first of all, Geo's really into travel.
Uh-huh.
And it's traveled to 175 countries and kept a diary about its adventures.
Whoa, that's so fun.
Yeah. So it covers everything. Food, culture, holiday celebrations, climate. It's a very sweet and sentimental database.
Aw. Well, it sounds like Geo has a lot to share.
And conversation skills are very important, especially on a first database.
That's very true.
So let's just take a look at it.
Okay.
we'll go off script a little.
All right, show me geo.
Okay, so first we've got all the countries you can choose from. They're by a list, or you can go by a map.
Okay. So you could either click the name on the side, or you could just pick one off the map.
Correct.
That is
So
so
you can
cool.
see here, when you hover over them, it'll say the name of the country.
Whoa. Okay, that's neat. So can we do Canada?
Let's do Canada.
All right, cool. Okay, so what does geo have to
Recipes, history, holidays, and festivals. What I really like about this is the business culture. So this is really good for students that are majoring in business, but also those that want to do study abroad.
Oh yeah.
Or even Model UN, because it gets into like the business work week, what kind of attire you should wear in that country, different meetings, how meetings are held. Like, it's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a great resource, especially if you're planning to go to another country and you're not familiar with the culture.
Exactly. And the database, so it's good for people that want to travel, but also for students that are taking humanities, geography, because sometimes they have to highlight a country.
That's awesome. So let's dig into like the fun parts of this. Like, what's fun? Like, I see music, I see food and recipes. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with music.
Okay.
So this is even good for students that have an interest in music, or maybe they're majoring in music, like Mira, because what it does is it talks about the traditional music of the country.
Okay.
And then it even gets into instruments.
All right. That's very cool.
Yeah. So in Canada, we're looking at the fiddle, the accordion, and the bagpipe.
Interesting.
And back pocket music.
Oh.
In Quebec. So they use soup spoons as a rhythm instrument.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I see animal bones.
Yeah, animal bones are a very ancient source of percussion.
Huh.
And woodblock playing.
Nice. Harmonica. Harmonicas are always good.
Yep.
Gotta love a harmonica.
So it's pretty neat. Like, it gets into a lot of stuff in here.
Okay.
Another really fun area is food and recipes.
Love food.
Well, you say that now.
Okay.
So there's the national cuisine, but then if we click on recipes, this database will literally have recipes for the country. And then take a look at this one, a traditional Newfoundland meal called fish and brewies.
Okay, well, tell me what's in fish and brewies.
Well, there's salt cod.
Okay.
Hardtack.
All right.
Salt pork. That's it.
Oh boy. Well, I think I'm going to skip the food in Newfoundland. I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
I think I'm also going to skip the food in Newfoundland.
Okay, probably good.
But I will go with the sweet corn pancakes called Johnny Cakes.
Ooh, those look good. Okay, those look good. So we can still get some food in Canada.
Yeah, or a maple sundae.
Ooh, okay, totally.
Now, I know we have had this argument about maple syrup before.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, well.
So this, I think, is traditional real maple syrup.
You mean that comes from a tree, not from sugar and like food coloring?
Which is my favorite.
It's just sugar.
I know.
It's not maple syrup. It's pretend.
Well,
it's a lie.
This database is not going to solve this argument for us.
I know. We're just going to have to. Sorry, we went off script for a minute.
We do this a lot.
Oh boy. Okay, where were we? What's going on? What else does Geo have to offer? What if we find an article that we like, that we want to share or we want to keep for a paper, something like that? How do we do that?
Okay, well, this database makes that really easy.
Okay.
So when you scroll to the bottom, on the left, it'll say print this document or cite this document.
Oh, cool. So
when I click cite this document, I have the option to save MLA or APA.
All right. That's awesome.
And it's not perfect.
Okay.
I still recommend you check it and make sure it's right before you use this to turn in for a grade.
Yeah.
But it does a pretty good job.
So it's like pretty much all the databases. If you use the citation tool, you really need to make sure, check the manuals, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really awesome, though. When you're writing a paper, it's good to know that that's there.
Exactly. And don't wait 3 days. You want to access these documents right away to get started on your research.
Perfect. Now, if you have any additional questions, all the people listening to this podcast out there, just remember you can always reach out to the database relationship coaches at your campus.
Their contact info is on this guide.
And as always, everyone,
happy databasing.
Does anyone else get like dancy when they hear the music? I know I do.
I will tell you, it's hard for me not to laugh when I hear the maple syrup fight.
As I said, I think that needs to be a topic in opposing viewpoints, like whether we like real syrup or true, maple syrup from Canada.
It's a good idea. I mean, we definitely could. Kassie and I have been arguing about this for 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go to the next tab and let Kaitlin talk a little bit about our Meet the Matchmakers and how to prepare for your database.
So on our Meet the Matchmakers tab, you'll see our different profiles, so the different relationship coaches, aka librarians, at the different campuses. And this is really just like our profile with our Bitmojis, and then our contact info in case they have any questions after the workshop, or a direct link to make a one-on-one appointment with us. And then I'm going to show you another tab, the Prepare for Your Database tab. And this really has a lot of information about how to access the databases, starting from the very beginning, logging into your student account, how to access the online library, and then get to our list of databases. And then we also give some search tips. So kind of using it in the terms of like a conversation, you're getting to know your date, but you're getting to know your database. So you don't want to confuse them or overwhelm them with a long question. You want to select out, specific keywords. And then we also talk about how to set boundaries, right? Because you're just on your very first date. And so we talk about use those filter options, like selecting peer-reviewed articles only, or selecting the publication date range. And then the box at the bottom of that page has some of the different resources, scavenger hunt and icebreakers. Just some other like follow-up activities that we created.
So this was actually one of the activities that was created by a faculty member that they shared with us to include on the Speed Dating LibGuide. So she has her students do this scavenger hunt and explore our LibGuide and the databases that way. And then we also have the icebreakers, which Paula talked a little bit about. So I'll put those up on the screen for you to see. And this is what we pass out during the workshops and have students fill out along while they're getting to know the databases, so that they have some notes to take with them when they leave.
I love the, we have them list like their best attributes and then like list any red flags. So just some cute little forms.
We had a lot of fun just peppering all this stuff in there.
Lots of puns. Okay, and so now we're going to have Paula talk about what we have students do when they find a database that they like.
Yeah, so I can't take credit for any of the puns. The rest of the team, you all are amazing and hilarious. I would never be able to come up with that stuff. So on this is our swipe right page. So are you ready to make your database your database? If you love the information, that you find on a database and you don't want to lose it, take the next step to save your information. On this page, we'll provide you with several ideas for taking your research to the next level. Oh, and thank you, Matthew, for saying that I'm punny. I disagree, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So on taking your research to the next level, we have how to save the articles to OneDrive. At St. Pete College, each of our students is given a OneDrive account. And a lot of the databases, you can actually use the tools feature to export into Google Drive or to OneDrive. So whenever I'm doing library instructions or workshops with speed dating or anything else, I love to show them how they can export their articles. And I'll usually take them into Google Drive and also OneDrive. And then we just have the steps. You want to open an article, look for the tools area. It's usually on the right side of the page or along the top. If the database has this function, it will use the term save or export to OneDrive or Google Drive, and then you want to enter in your credentials for your SPC OneDrive account or your Google information. We used to have access to RefWorks. We no longer have that, but at the time, we would also show students how to export this to RefWorks.
And then we also feature a tab here with our events, and currently we don't have anything on here because the semester is wrapping up, but in the spring we will add our dates here so students can see a full list of the virtual workshops that we're offering for speed dating online. And then we also offer this tab for if they can't make it to a workshop, students or faculty. We have some other resources here. So again, we include that scavenger hunt and icebreakers for faculty members to embed in their courses and use as extra credit or an assignment for their students. And then we also have a link here for faculty to request an instruction. So if they can't make one of our workshops, they can schedule one for their entire class.
And then the share link, this is a speed dating survey. So students are invited to complete a survey after they attend the workshop and just let us know what they think. We ask for their name, their student number, email address, and what campus they are on. Then it'll say which bases did you explore, which database was your favorite and why, what is the most helpful part of this guide, would you be more likely to attend an online workshop or an on-campus workshop? What day of the week or time? And is there anything else you would like to share? So our idea when we created this survey, it was, you know, how do we make the speed dating with databases better for students? So we wanted to know what times of the day and what days of the week they would be most willing to attend. So that was kind of like our motivation. And it's almost, I don't know how many of you are familiar with those 3-2-1 surveys, which I love, you know, list 3 things that you learned, 2 things that you'll now do differently, and 1 thing that you still find confusing. I find that that kind of feedback is so important. And that's why if we were, you know, figuring out what is the most helpful part for you out of this guide, and then what else would you like to share with us? Then we can just make it better for them in the long run.
And that's pretty much it. That is our speed dating with databases LibGuide. We'd like to open it up for any questions or comments from our audience. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the comments. I will put Paula's contact information up on the screen. Here we actually have it listed here.
There's a question about, are you looking at ways to make this virtual? And you've done a little bit of that, I think, in the last semester and a half or so. You want to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Kaitlin and Paula have both conducted workshops this last semester. So I'll let each of them talk a little bit about what they did to make it more virtual.
Sure. So I know, I think Kaitlin was the same. We used the Zoom platform. And we would send out a link, and then when we, and again, I don't want to speak for Kaitlin because maybe I did mine a little bit different, but what I would do is first I would just say what the 20-minute workshop was going to be. It's a speed dating workshop. You're going to have 5 minutes with each database. Instead of in person where we already had them logged in, we had to spend a little bit of time sending out the links in the chat box and explaining this is how you log in with your SBC credentials. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. Like, one thing I learned was that the online speed dating with database workshop is much longer than the in-person, because you do have to explain those things a little bit more. Then I showed the quick little video, and I would just demonstrate the database. Let's say we were starting with Ferguson's Career Center. I would only go over it for about a minute. I would screen share and say, okay, this is Ferguson's, this is what it looks like now. And then I would stop sharing my screen and just say, okay, so go ahead and start exploring on your own. And then I would chime in every couple minutes, how's everything going? I would answer questions in the chat. And things like that. So I would showcase 3 databases. And then I also did some by subject area. So I would demonstrate 3 business databases, 3 science databases, and I cannot remember the third one, but maybe Kaitlin remembers. So that way, if it was a student that was just interested in science or just interested in business, they could attend and just see databases related to that. So I will turn this over to Kaitlin.
Yeah, mine was very similar, Paula. I cannot remember the third one. I know I did one that was on kind of like our fun databases. We call it Netflix and chill databases, like our films on demand one. I agree about like the extra time spent logging them in. And the other thing that was just, not the same experience as you're not able to like walk around the computer lab or the classroom and kind of see them navigate the databases. You see their students on Zoom, you're kind of just like, seeing their face and or just their name. So that was a different experience, but overall, I think they were still a success for sure.
Yeah, and I did find it's so much better to have at least 2 people as hosts. At first, I thought, oh, I can just handle it all. I can do the chat and screen share and play videos. No, it did not work that well. I was scrambling, and then I couldn't read the chat because I had a video up. And so if you could team up and have a partner do one of these online workshops, it worked so much better. So lessons learned. But we'd love to have all of your ideas that are in the audience too. Like how do you think we could improve this, and ways that you think that we can make this better virtually? We're always looking to improve and make it better for students and faculty. We love new ideas.
Any other question? Because we have plenty of time. If you have questions, just ask away.
I'll play devil's advocate and ask you all, what if there are other ways to integrate this into our learning management system so that it becomes something that is not off-site, or, in this case, it's a LibGuide, but there are ways to put it in there that we've thought about that could make this really more distinct for faculty to maybe use or pull in modules or things like that for their courses? Is there any conversation about that?
No, that's a good question though. At SPC, we use the D2L platform. We call it My Courses, but I'm sure there's a way we can incorporate this into folders and modules. We have had things in the past, we called them information literacy modules that were built in. So, I mean, I could see that, you know, there's definitely a way we could do it. And that would be a pretty good idea. And
you just have such wonderful work here that I think that you'd have a lot of buy-in from folks, particularly if you could tag them in the repository that's part of D2L. And, you know, folks like, you know, professors you worked with in particular, like George Mitzis or that sort of thing, would allow for you to work with this and have it part of their course. I just, so much value here that they could use to supplement some of the things that you all do in the classroom, as well as perhaps what doesn't happen in the classroom because of online environments or asynchronous.
Yeah, no, it's a really great idea, because in the past, our information literacy modules, they were in the repository, and then faculty members could choose to pull from there and then link them to quizzes or graded items. And even to take your idea further, Matthew, I don't see why we couldn't set this up with a Creative Commons license, put it out to anyone, any other college that wants to incorporate this.
That's because you didn't make all the puns, and they want to hold onto these for copyright purposes, but, you know, I'm good.
We're happy to share all the puns with everyone.
Yeah. Oh, that's just because it's your birthday. You're just being nice today. That's right. Well, we really should have had puns and pints, right? With our concurrent session being the one about beer and wine, we all missed out on that, and that totally goes with dating. We should have been together. I mean, you know, I think that if you're gonna do dating, I mean, you should at least have some beer and wine around, for goodness sakes.
Well, next time, let's think about this.
I mean, we don't know what people are doing after this, so.
Oh, right. That's when the happy hour begins. They're like, oh, we had to sit through that, so now we're going over here to get through some beer and wine. Right, okay.
They got to sit through this.
No,
That's
that
right.
was very interesting, very engaging, and you know, I can see why we have a lot more people attending your session than others. So it's the title, dating.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, only 12 people went to the beer and wine one. So
Wow, that does.
you guys are better.
I
We
know.
did have,
And
I don't know.
we have up to 20. Yeah.
The legislative session got the most people. People are concerned about their money.
Yes.
Makes sense.
makes sense.
Whatever you did with that title, that's makes it.
I'm telling you, though, the funding goes better after dating or beer and wine. You might be a little more.
It should have been one, you're right, it should have been one big group session, and we could have just had a little piece of each, and they could have all joined together.
Right, right.
Noted from your survey.
Oh my
Yeah, do the survey after the beer or before the beer. I'm not sure. Either way.
I know how.
I should send you a beer with your survey, right?
Yeah, you get your beer
It's
after
much
you
more
complete
beer.
the survey.
Oh my, that is so wonderful. Any other question or comment? Well, on behalf of AFC LRC, I'd like to thank you for sharing your winning presentation with us. And when we chose you, we didn't know that you were a winner from a big to do. We didn't know. And a small us, we thought, oh, they're great, but we didn't know you were, you know, greater with the greater people. Thank you so much. And at this time, usually if we are face-to-face, we will be presenting you with your award and your cash award or whatever we decided to do. But because of the COVID-19, we send you part of it already, and then the rest of it will be coming to you right after after conference. So if you have not received the first part of it, please let us know because we have sent them. If anybody else on the chat, they like to contact you after this session is over, they can do that, right? Because you have your contact information on the chat. So we can contact you if we need more information or if we want to get some more clues on how to date the database. So
absolutely. Feel free to reach out to Paula. She gets all the weirdos that come to see her. So, you know, she's happy to I'm kidding. No.
So we have to keep us safe, in a safe place when those weirdos are coming.
Paula's nice to everyone, as you might kind of see in this. And so, yeah, people latch on to her. So, you know, not too much dating for her. You know, Josh has forbidden it. Her husband is not. But yeah, reach out. We're happy to share.
Yeah,
Okay,
but COVID has changed everything. Of course, I'm sure everyone's libraries, you know,
yes.
we just, I used to be the one that would sit next to students and just, you know, help them as much as possible. And now it's like, yeah, no, it's so different now, but.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way or something.
Yeah.
Well, to the audience, to the attendee, we thank you so much for being with us. And most of you were in there all the way. You did not drop in and drop out because I've been watching.
Aww.
And so, but you will be receiving evaluation by email. Please take a few minutes to complete and then provide feedback because that's how we're going to make it better. So thank you so much for sitting with us in the dating databases, even though we didn't have beer to go with it. We enjoyed it very much. Thank you so much. And then you'll be hearing from us pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Mercedes. We appreciate you. And
it was quite a pleasure.
Thank you.
Quite a pleasure. Thank you again.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.